Hi, this is Turquoise. Gonna do a podcast and or video about anger. I get angry when I feel powerless, and I get angry when I feel anxious about something and I don't think that a very important problem is being solved or that something is unjust and directly or very closely to directly affecting me. Needless to say, I've been very angry about what's been going on politically and socially, and even what's going on around the house. And tonight, I went through something that upset me, that frightened me more, I guess, than made me angry. And it touched me, and it made me feel really sad too. I'm trying to get out of the house more and visit my girlfriend, and I was riding the bus home to last night. It's last night now because it was the night's past. And I was riding the bus, and it was an unusually warm night. Usually in the month of February, when it's not yet spring, usually it doesn't get really hot at night. If we're having something called a Santa Ana, which is in simpler terms, a desert wind blowing from the east into San Diego, usually it's chilly at night. It's still very dry at night. Maybe it gets foggy. We've been having fog at night and early in the morning on Santa Ana days, like desert wind times. And the wind was very dry again. It also kicked up my eye inflammation, my dry eye problem, and which is very painful when I get stuff in my eyes. I have more trouble getting them out than the average person does, so I'll spend like days, weeks, maybe even a month in pain because I can't get a particle out of my eye. Keeps me up at night too. I was riding the bus home and it was hot, and the driver, I think, had forgotten to turn the air conditioning on. And in the wintertime, we usually don't need air conditioning. Maybe it surprised him that we needed it, but I panicked. When I got on the bus, I panicked because he wasn't turning on the air conditioning. He didn't seem to be prioritizing our comfort. I think they have windows in their cubicle where they're driving, and they can open the windows, and maybe they don't think they need it, but maybe they forget that the passengers need the air. Because we don't have windows. I think sometimes we have a ceiling vent that we can open when the bus is, but that's only effective when the bus is moving, and I think there's only maybe one in the back. And usually he'll have the ventilation system switched on when it's that warm, and in the wintertime when it's really cold, he'll have the heater on. It'll be generating heat, maybe from the engine. But he didn't have anything on at all. I got on the bus, and I think it was like 15 minutes in, and I was really starting to panic. And I was getting angry, and I was a little scared because I was really, really feeling the panicky feeling, the fear that if he didn't turn on the air conditioning, I was going to suffocate and feel overheated. And people were turning around and looking in my direction, which was understandable. And I was just squirming around in my seat and just really upset. And I was just kind of wondering under my breath, why doesn't he turn it on? Why doesn't he turn on the AC? I'm so hot, And finally, after making a report to the transit company, because he still wasn't doing it, I don't know. Maybe I was tired of maybe something snapped inside me. Maybe my mesh process has been helping. I'm learning that I can't just put up with stuff. I need to be able to stand up for myself. And there is a way to do it, but I'm still not sure I know how. And that's the other thing that's frustrating me. I don't yet have enough self-confidence or skill in being assertive, and I certainly don't yet have any skill in dealing with someone when they get mad at me, even when I'm doing it right, even when I'm telling them the right way or doing it right. But I just blurted out, "Excuse me, it's really hot in here, bus driver. Would you please turn on the fan at least? If you can't turn the AC on, at least put on a fan." And he goes, "Pardon me, fan? A fan?" And I said, "Well, or something, please switch the air on. I am hot back here." Like that. And he goes, "Oh, I can do that. No problem." And he turned it on. And I thought to myself, geez Louise, how come I couldn't just easily say, "Excuse me, could you please turn the air on?" I think my upbringing, this is appropriate for the life experiences module, but my behavior is affected by my life experiences. I have thought all my life that it was easier to just shut up. But you know what shutting up does, ladies and gentlemen? Shutting up, it might build up. And if you don't have a lot of confidence in managing emotions, or if you don't have a lot of skill in doing that, it may come out a little too rough. But I also am realizing that I have control over my behavior. And after that, I immediately forced myself to calm down. I did some breathing. I did some gravity grounding. I let the gravity ground me in my seat on the bus. And I was scared. I had the voice in my head saying, "You don't even deserve to share the air with the bus driver or any of the people on the bus. You are such a, the voice was calling me names. The inner critic was calling me names, and I kept having to reply silently. "Thank you for sharing, voice. Thank you for sharing, voice. I'm still learning. I'm still learning, and if you can't deal with it, fine. And I had sent in the report to the transit company, and he is probably going to hear from someone tomorrow for being so damn slow at putting the air on. And if they follow up and talk to me, I'm going to say, "Listen, I'm trying to learn how to stand up for myself. I probably should have just stood up and said, "Excuse me, could you please put the air conditioning on or the fan on?" Instead of just sitting in my seat and freaking out and muttering under my breath. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry if I'm reporting it instead of, but I think he also deserves to know that the drivers need to be more aware when it's hot outside, even if it's an unusually warm night. And if they want to open the window, that doesn't mean that the passengers can be cool. We have to be comfortable too. So that was what I was dealing with tonight. And thank goodness for my mesh process, all the stuff that I learned in the past 9 years on YouTube and on podcasts. We don't have to put up with stuff and suffer in silence and then have an outburst. Yeah, I think I kind of had that tonight, but I think things would have been a lot worse 20 years ago. I might have just, I don't know, maybe I would have jumped off, I would have run off the bus and had a big fit. And, I might have ended up in the hospital or something, but I didn't. I handled it. I consciously tried to change. I was upset after the exchange. I was feeling very guilty. I was feeling really ashamed of myself. And I was afraid the driver was really mad at me. I was afraid the people on the bus were really mad at me. I was really scared. Another part of me is like, "Carol, you're learning something new. And you're doing your best." And I called my mentor after I got in, and he said the same thing. So, self-tolerance, learning self-tolerance does help. I still don't like myself, but I'm learning how to tolerate myself. And I'm where I'm supposed to be right now. Be safe, everyone.